right. Good morning, everyone. I am Ashley Clinkscale. I am the new VP of Communications and PR with the Houston Dynamo Football Club. I'm excited to have everyone here today, and it's an exciting day for the Dash. We are announcing and introducing our new head coach, Fran
And it's,
Alonso.
amazing to be there. But the dream is like, I can't wait to be chilling at home in my comfort zone.
I did that. Thank you. That's my intro for today.
Yes. And then for some reason,
We're
when
going
you
to work on
are
our.
out and
There's
about
always
at
some
the
fun
awards,
going
you end up
on our
in
first
like
day.
photos and
I'll put
going
this down as my
viral. Like,
memory
I got one. Take a look at
of day
this.
one.
Sorry, you need to sit down now.
It was just a test, a little audio test. We're good to go.
You're always sounding
Or
me.
maybe not. Good, Angel? Thank you, Angel and Al, for saving the day. All right, we have our president of business operations for Houston Dynamo Football Club, Miss Jessica O'Neill. Our new head coach, Fran Alonso, for the Dash, we are excited to have. And Alex Singer, our general manager for the Houston Dash. And so we will start off with opening remarks. We'll start with you, Jess.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all being here today on an absolutely beautiful day. In Houston, we get some of these incredible weather days, and we take them and run with them, Fran, just as as a point of reference. But so excited to be here today. I'm not sure that there's been an off season with more anticipation and excitement for the NWSL as a whole. There's so much growth in this league that I know I would not want to be on the outside looking in. We are approaching a year with expansion, obviously 2 new teams coming into the league, and then a new media deal that will just ensure that the Dash are on more households across the world than they've previously been on, which helps all of us and our incredible athletes. So it's been a busy offseason, a lot of excitement, both here locally and at the league level. And we are really focused on energy. We'll say that word a lot today. Passion, excitement, that's intentional. We want to bring Shell Energy Stadium, make sure it comes alive, obviously, when the Dash are on the field and then when they're on the road. And y'all, I will tell you, we found someone who will help us do that. So excited to introduce Alex, who led this search in the offseason to ensure that we had a leader in place who, on and off the field, was going to help us be better in all of the ways that we show up. Alex Singer?
Thanks, Jess, and thank you all for being here today and welcome. It's an extremely exciting day to welcome Fran Alonso as our new head coach for the Houston Dash. Coming out of last season and just explaining about what we were looking for in our search and how we went about it, we really focused on not just this past season, but seasons before and what led us to successful moments and where we were falling short. And to sum it up, there were a few things, and one of them was a cultural based thing. One of them was clear roles and establishing clear roles on and off the pitch, and establishing a true winning mentality. All of these things in collaboration contribute to an identity. And throughout the years with lots of changes on and off the pitch, highs and lows, there has been a little bit of a lack of identity and a strong foundation in not only how we play, but how we behave and everything that we do when we wear the Houston Dash crest. So in looking for somebody to lead this team, we really wanted to find somebody who would absolutely commit and have a track record in checking every single one of those boxes, and we found that in Fran. Fran has a really interesting background and experience. He has coached in the English Premier League with some of the best tacticians in the game, learning details in the game and how to develop players with huge names, young players who were just in the brink of starting their career and then went on to have extremely accomplished accolades and careers in the top level around the world and in their national teams. And in that, he always wanted more. He had a passion to commit to the women's game and a passion to find a project where he would continue to bring energy in everything he did and use these details that he's learned throughout his coaching career. With his experience in Celtic, he took a team that was never professional in the Scottish Women's Premier League to double title winners, 3 trophies, from basically a roster of amateurs. He put together a team that was 100% committed to buying in to a culture of winning, a culture of excellence, and also a developmental program where he brought 12 players to their respective national teams, 9 players getting their first senior call-up into their national teams. So when we looked at things last year, we felt that we did have a great core and a great foundation for success, but we were really missing out on these key elements. So with Fran, his competitive nature stood out across this process. And of course, I've learned in my time in this seat that it's not always easy to be brave enough to want to achieve more, to be brave enough to go beyond complacency and really start to figure out, why things haven't gone our way in the past. So it's taken a lot, not only the players who believe in this mission that we have, leadership like Jess, a 100% committed owner like Ted, but this mission to find a head coach who is equally committed to the project, knows what this city deserves, what our fans can expect and deserve, and it takes us all of us working together to achieve this winning culture that we want to do. On the pitch, we identified some things analytically, and we really started to look at the football. We kept coming back to Fran. And I talked to a lot of coaches, and we had a really, really great process within our leadership and in terms of how we led the coaching process. And we always kept coming back to Fran. And you're going to hear from him, and you're going to hear why. Jess mentioned the word energy. It is a word that we use a lot. He certainly has energy and passion. And when we looked at the football, as I mentioned, we were looking for something pretty specific. You all know that last year we were not a dominant attacking team, whereas we had been in the past. We felt that we had brought in and enforced our attack, but we really fell short there. So when we looked at specifics like how many times were we getting into the box? What did our goal entries look like? Why weren't we scoring the goals last year? We started to develop this pseudo model and wanted to find a coach who also believed in this model and was going to bring his or her own style to that. With Fran, ultimately, his style and the commitment to the vision that we have here, a commitment to excellence, his excitement about the project and what we want to implement, the proactiveness that you will see. We kept coming back to this as well. How are we going to be the team that's always on the front foot? Our distances last year were too big. We weren't retaining the ball in the opponent's half. We weren't counter-pressing. We were running too much. And again, we started to come up with this idea. And whenever we spoke to Fran, it was almost like he's reading our minds. So we're so excited to have Fran here as our head coach. With his commitment to the vision that we have, the energy that he's going to bring, we are going to make this city, our fans, and the players fall in love with this new style of play and all of our goals to bring a winning culture of excellence and sustainable winning team and trophies to this city. So thank you again for being here. I'm really excited for you all to hear from Fran himself and happy to introduce Fran Alonso as our new head coach.
So thank you, Jess, and thank you, Alex, for your kind words. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. It's been a long career. I started in professional football in 2012, but before that, I coached my sister team when she was just a little girl, and I went to one of her games, and I hear a despective comment towards women footballers. So I promised myself that I will fight to reach to the top in the men game if I can, and when I get there, I will try to contribute in the women game. That's why, as I say, I got experience in both games. I started as a translator and then made my way into assistant coaching. But I was learning from these top coaches. I was like a sponge, but I couldn't put it into practice. So then I decided to volunteer in the Women Game. So I've been volunteering in the Women Game since 2012. And then obviously in this period, while volunteering, learning from these top managers, stealing these ideas, which we are going to try to implement. So the decision to come here, when you are in the Women Game, you always dream with the NWSL. In my opinion, is the best league in the world, but if it's not, definitely is the most competitive league in the world. So for any manager, it's an incredible challenge. And within the NWSL, Houston is the perfect place for me. Not only because of the city is beautiful, the club have some similarities with my previous club. One trophy in all the years of history, which is exactly the same I have in my previous club, and the ambition and the resources and the passion and the heart to make this a very special time. So for me, it was a no-brainer to come here. The process has been very long, 2 months waiting for my visa. First comment, as soon as I get to the hotel, the players, oh, he's real. They didn't believe, but what I can promise is hard work, determination, passion, and our dream is not only to bring trophies, which obviously every manager wants that, but I want to see a full stadium. I want to inspire these little girls and these little boys and the community. Another reason for me to join the football club is the soccer club. Is to the job that the club is doing to the community. This is for me very, very important. I come from a place where club and community are one, and this is what we try to do here. I want to win soccer games in a full stadium. So let's start to work, and hopefully it's going to be the beginning of something amazing for all of us.
Awesome. We will open the door for questions. Open the floor for questions. Excuse me.
Do you want us English, Spanish?
English is.
Primero, bienvenido, profe.
Gracias.
Felicidades por estar con nosotros. I hate to jump ahead of everybody. Profe, algunas palabras en español. Bienvenido a Houston, a nuestra ciudad, y posiblemente lo que acaba de decir en inglés en español, por favor.
Sí, estoy encantado de venir aquí. Muchas gracias por tus comentarios. Es una ciudad que me encanta y el proyecto me gusta tanto como la ciudad. Tiene muchas similitudes con el proyecto que tuve en mi anterior equipo, un equipo que ha ganado un trofeo, una copa en todos sus años de historia. Eso es exactamente lo que yo tuve en mi último club, en el Celtic, pero en los últimos 3 años de 4 competiciones ganamos 3 y estuvimos a 1 minuto de ganar la Liga. Nos clasificamos para la Champions League 2 años, nunca en la historia nos habíamos clasificado. Y el equipo cuando empezamos era part-time, no había ninguna jugadora que fuera full-time. Entonces ese proceso de crecimiento fue increíble. Aquí, por supuesto, muchos mejores recursos, pero veo muchas similitudes, la misma pasión. Entonces por eso creo que dentro de la liga, de la NWSL, que para mí es la más competitiva y en mi opinión la mejor del mundo, pero dentro estoy en el club que más quería estar. Entonces espero que mi trabajo, mi pasión, mi entusiasmo se contagie y espero que el equipo inspire a los niños, a las niñas de la ciudad y ver el estadio lleno con gente que se sienta muy, muy, muy orgullosa de este equipo.
George, quickly, in English, sorry. You talked about culture. Alex talked about culture. Jess has talked about culture. What's your understanding of what this culture needs to be? And I agree with what you said. There's a new generation that's passionate about this. Is that important to you?
It's very important. So for me, I come from humble beginnings. Before I was in football, in professional football. To make my way, I went all the way to England with a suitcase and 2,000 pounds. That's it. And I have to clean. I was a cleaner. So I come from the bottom. I like this feeling of family. I think in my experience in 2012, all the most successful clubs are because they are a family. They are together. When things go well, everyone it's very easy to be good teammates. When things go bad, only the family stick together. So this is the culture that I'm trying to introduce into the team. They got so many good things, which we are going to keep, obviously, but there are also some things that we need to change. So it will be our own thing. It's not like it's in Europe. It's not like it's in America. We want to do a mix where everyone feel good and everyone feel like, you know, you got our back. So this is kind of what is very, very important to me. And this have a reflection later in the playing style. You lose the ball, and I sprint 100% to win the ball for you, and the other way around as well. So the way we interact with each other is also in a straight relation with the way we interact with each other on the pitch.
Definitely in English. I do. Thanks a lot, buddy. Anyway, let me ask you, and you might have touched on it a little bit in your first response, but I do want to ask you, what was the major attraction other than the fact that Houston's a really, really big, beautiful city, but what was the major attraction of coming here?
So first was the league. The league was something I wanted to be part of because of the competition within the league. Obviously, I was in talks with Alex the year before, and already I was keen on coming, but it couldn't happen that time. And then this time, I spoke to an agent. I said, make it happen. I really wanted. So it's not only the city; it's the environment, the history of the club is very similar to the history of my previous club, and the success that we have there was unheard of. We have average 100, 150 people watching games. We end up the last season 15,800 people watching us with flags, with singing, incredible. So I thought, okay, with better resources, with a better structure, with the same passion, let's see what we can do here. So for me, that was my favorite club, the one I wanted to come.
Hey, Fran.
Hi.
Obviously, Alex talked a little bit about the team not scoring a lot of goals last year. There's been a lot of talk about your Celtics teams. I think you guys scored like 85 goals or something crazy last year. Just tactically, a back three, a back five, just kind of what your thoughts on are with this team and the players. I know you just met them, but kind of the roster you have right now.
Yeah, we are gonna strengthen a little bit. There's a couple of players that might join in the next few weeks. But we are happy with the roster. Obviously, for some of them, it's something new. We are mainly working now with back three. It gives us a very good playing out from the back, and then allow us this time to do rotations in the final third. But we want players to be tactically clever. We want players to be versatile. I think in modern football, versatility is key. So we want them as well to be familiar with, for example, a 4-3-3 formation that they play for most part of last year as well. Also, when you are playing an opponent, you want to challenge them tactically. If they know exactly how you play, it's easier to play against. But yeah, the playing style is focused on attack. So I got all my assistants are focused on defense because I just look at attack. Team selection, everything is just who attack better, who got better skills, and then that's why I need to find the balance to have a better balanced team. But yeah, it's very aggressive style, pressing from the front. It doesn't matter if we are playing the champion winner or the champions of the country, whoever we play, we are gonna press aggressive. We are gonna, if they break us down, then well done. But we are not gonna make it easy for them. And then we are gonna be brave as well, playing out. We have been in the two games. Teams try to press us high, and we have been playing out quite well. And then obviously you do this successfully a couple of times, then team naturally start to drop, and then we can work with our rotation. So this is what I envision, but of course in this league every team is very, very good tactically, and they got incredible players. So it's going to be a huge challenge, but a beautiful challenge. But we have the responsibility to play, not only to try to win every game, but to play beautiful football. I think this is our responsibility.
Hi, Coach. Sam here.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah, welcome to Houston.
Thank you very much.
You have worked under two great coaches, Pochettino, current coach of Chelsea, and Roland Koeman, the Dutchman. Moving from the SWPL to the NWSL, what challenges are you anticipating in transition to a new league? And also, what are your long-term and short-term vision with Houston Dash?
So the challenges obviously there is a cultural difference, massive difference. Things here are, different than they might be in Europe. But I live in Germany, I live in England, I live in Scotland, I live in Spain. So, I'm used to adapt. I'm used to different cultures, and we have to try to get the best from each culture to put it all together. But the main challenge of the league is everything is very good and everything got a lot of quality. In Scotland, there are 6 professional teams and the rest are part-time. So then you got games that you know they are going to be easy. It's easy to keep the squad happy because you can give minutes to players that maybe don't have as many minutes, while here every game is a cup final, basically. So that's a huge challenge. That's going to be a huge challenge. And then another one is obviously some players that we have, they used to do things in a certain manner and they will have to change. So that's another challenge because it's not the same to change the behavior of a player that has just been playing professionally for a couple of years because she was part-time, of a player that has won titles, has played World Cups. That's much more difficult. But so far, I have to say I'm delighted. The whole squad has been so receptive of myself, of the coaching staff, of the style, and of the field kind of behaviors that we want to encourage and values. So far, it's a 10 out of 10, but we haven't achieved anything. We have to carry on working. But that's probably the biggest challenge.
All right, one question to the Houston Dash front office. When we are here a couple of years ago, like 2 or 3 seasons ago, coaches were introduced, and this same point of view you guys outlined was said. What made this one different?
I'll take that one because I think some of that was preceded Alex even. It's been interesting. In a few weeks, it'll mark my 2-year anniversary of arriving here, and there's been nothing short of ambition since I arrived. And Alex alluded to the support that we've received from Ted Siegel in elevating this club and the way that we do everything. We've talked a lot about on the field, but off the field has to match. That's one of the most unique and clear observations I made about the NWSL very quickly is that the talent on the field is the best in the world. The product that is out there, but everything around it needs to match that, and that's what the front office and the business side have been focused on, from a commercial side, from a media side, from an advertising side, fan engagement, all of those pieces. So you asked about what makes this one different. It's to me, every decision we make with the information we have at the time is what we think is the best one. Obviously, that's what we're tasked here to do. I think in this case, and Alex will laugh when I share this, but I was involved in the interview process, not to talk about the football or anything on the field, but to understand culturally and personality-wise the fit in our ecosystem. And the energy that Fran exuded in a Zoom call, which is not always easy to do, within minutes, I was like, well, let's just hire him. And that's where I need people around me to say, okay, we have a process. We want to make sure that everything else makes sense. But that is what I felt, Sam, to your question, right away. And that gut instinct has led me to a lot of great decisions. And I think what I'm getting from Fran that's different, and he spoke about playing brave, but what Fran has done in coming to Houston and taking this job is brave. And what he's done in many, many points along his career is make brave decisions, and then it's worked out because he's hustled to see that result. And that, to me, is what was the fit right off the bat, that this was going to be something that is a long-term play for our organization, and we're excited about the path forward.
Any more questions in the room?
Coach Maria Sanchez, how big is a piece like that important for a club and a team that you're starting to want to establish your culture?
Yes, Maria is a key player for us. We got many, thankfully we got many key players, but Maria is a key player. I know it's a fan favorite, and this is something that for us as well is very important. I think she has shown that she got so many attributes that is going to suit perfectly our style. She's a creative player. She got this magic in the final third that we won, apart from obviously having one of the best left foot in the league. So yeah, it's early days for her. She unfortunately for her, but unfortunately for us, they now go for the Gold Cup with Mexico. So that we are not going to be able to work with her for a couple of weeks. So depend how Mexico do. But yeah, I'm absolutely delighted to have a player.
And a lot of amazing staff members, some who still aren't here yet, but will be very shortly. On the performance side, for example, it's an area where we really took a look at and wanted to strengthen, provide more resources, more experts. We have a lot more experts on the staff right now than we have ever had before. We're providing more to the players that we ever have before, more to the staff and how we develop the staff as well. So performance was huge for us, especially because of the way we want to play, which is very high energy, specializing positionally. You know, we talk about Maria Sanchez. She's had a lot of success. How can we make her the absolute, undeniable best winger in this league? That's not, you know, she's a great footballer, but what are we providing off the pitch in the gym? A dietitian, high performance director, again, all of these things to enforce what we already had in place foundationally, but take it up to the next level. And again, this identity is going to be something that we really focus on, identity and culture. And when anybody, player, staff has the crest of the Houston Dash on their shirt, you know, that's going to have a whole new meaning this coming season and beyond.
Awesome. Did you have a question in there? Yep.
Fran, you mentioned having been in talks with Alex previously. I was wondering if either of you could clarify when that was. Was that prior to this past season, or?
We were introduced to each other. At the end of the 2022 season, and I mean, the football world is quite small. So of course we had common contacts and different agents that we worked together, and we just had started to build some contact. I was really intrigued by the work that he was doing in Scotland, and so yeah, we were introduced at the time. The timing was a little bit off in terms of if we would hire him then. That wasn't really what we were intending to do, but we were introduced, and then, you know, when we had a change again, it was somebody who came up very early in the process in terms of who we would talk to.
And then I also wondered, Alex, how much you may have relied on some of your senior players for input, not necessarily on specific coaching candidates, but kind of what they wanted to see in terms of, you know, the culture and the playing style that you wanted to address with this hire.
Well, I asked every single player at the end of the season individually what were the important priorities they felt our next head coach needed to have. And there were common denominators in all of those conversations, of course. I think some of them were relatively obvious, but then there were others, of course, that I needed to understand from the player perspective were important to them. And as a former player, again, I can speculate, and I have felt myself when things are going well, what that looks like. And I also do want to say, you know, I was also lucky enough, like we all were, to take a look at what the Dynamo experienced last year and how Ben inspired a team and why they were successful. And I think it's undeniable when you do look at Ben coaching and in terms of the Dynamo leadership and the players, that there's this buy-in. This buy-in. They're going to do anything for coach, and coach is going to do anything for the players. And we can't, it's not copy and paste. It's definitely not copy and paste, but that type of buy-in is very, very important. But to answer your question more directly, yes, there was input from player leadership and involvement in the process, and it was important that they had that.
Fran, Maggie McKeithen, hi, how are you? Welcome to Houston.
Thank you very much.
You mentioned the buy-in with the Dynamo and how gradually last season, when we saw with the Dynamo, the stadium kept getting more packed and more packed and more packed. You mentioned that's a goal of yours, is to get this stadium packed. You come from many clubs with a winning culture. Do you think that a winning culture is the only thing that can pack a stadium? What do you believe can bring fans in besides those wins and besides the key players?
Yeah, I think there are many things that make people come to the stadium, people to feel proud. I think one of the key message for me, or one of the key reasons for me to join is the job, the work that the club do with the community. I think that's important. What we do when we are not in the training ground, are we involved with the community? Are we active with the community? I think that is great for engagement, to this unify. I think the playing style is key. I think this is, at the end of the day, this is a show. This is entertainment business. If you come to a game, if you win, but it's boring, or is, the ball is all the time, in set place, so I think you can win in many ways, but I think win in a beautiful way, that's exciting, and that's what people want to see. So then they come back. One of the things I experienced in my previous club is, is constant growth because of the style. And then, obviously, the difference from the beginning and the end was incredible. So you could see in our men's side, obviously, not only success in terms of trophies, but, reaching the semifinals and, the stadium. This is exactly what we want to do. That's exactly what we want to do and what we are working to do. I think a mix of all of it, and then, of course, bring in some of the best players we can. And then put them in this style. I think that's all gonna be fantastic. So yeah, but obviously we cannot do it alone. We need your help, guys. So hopefully we are all on the same page and we make the Shell Stadium full.
I know, Jess, you believe your 3 words were energy, passion, excitement. What are your 3 words for this season? What can you tell fans? Your 3 words for people to look forward to.
High energy, that have to be the first. Enthusiasm and passion, that would be one. And then hopefully success.
Thank you very much and welcome to Houston.
Thank you very much.
Profe, una más. A lo mejor es una pregunta delicada. El legado del deporte femenil en general ha sido menospreciado por muchos años. ¿Cómo encuentra usted un balance entre imponerse como profe en enseñar, pero al mismo tiempo respetar? No sé si me explico. Y es un balance, me imagino. No cruzar esa línea, pero también tener esa confianza con sus jugadoras. ¿Me explico?
Sí. ¿En español?
Por favor.
Sí, bueno, como te comenté antes, la principal razón por la que yo empecé a trabajar en el fútbol femenino femenil es para ayudar, es para contribuir. Yo creo que el fútbol femenino ha crecido mucho en los últimos años, pero todavía no está en el sitio donde debe de estar. Entonces, creo que gente como yo, hay mucha gente como yo que viene del fútbol masculino y que puede ayudar. Y luego, por supuesto, inversión de clubs, los organismos, las competiciones. Pero sí, por supuesto que tiene que ser, se tiene que tratar igual, pero no es lo mismo entrenar a futbolistas masculinos que femeninos. Es distinto. Yo he trabajado en los dos a primer nivel y lo que motiva a un futbolista, por ejemplo, masculino, energía, a lo mejor puede ser muy agresivo con el vocabulario y eso no necesariamente va a motivar a un futbolista femenino. Sí. A una futbolista lo que la motiva más es darle feedback, si haces cambios, por qué es el cambio, ahí hay más engagement, no con la misma agresividad.
¿Dónde arranca esa semilla, profe? Porque es algo que nos afecta a todos. ¿Cuándo y de qué forma comenzamos esa transición a exactamente lo que dice usted?
Bueno, es un proceso lento. Hemos crecido mucho desde el Mundial, hace 3 mundiales, hemos crecido muchísimo. Pero bueno, todavía no estamos al nivel, en el mundo todavía no estamos al nivel que debemos de estar. Yo en todos los clubes en los que he estado hay una diferencia abismal entre la sección masculina y la femenina. Entonces, esperemos que culturalmente estamos cambiando, pero bueno, poco a poco, esperemos que pronto los dos puedan estar al mismo nivel.
Gracias, profe.
Thank you. We're going to close out and go to question on Zoom.
Hey, Coach. Lou Rush from LJR Sports. You mentioned the word success as one of your key words. I'm just wondering, because organizations and coaches are judged by the fans primarily on your wins and losses, how do you judge success outside of that?
So we got, for me, success mean many different aspects. Winning is just a small part of success. For example, as Alex mentioned, if 12 players over a period of 30 years make their senior debut with the national team, that for me is success. At the end of the day, anyone can be a coach for different reasons. For me, I'm a coach because I want to change lives in a positive manner. Sorry, I want to help to change lives in a positive manner. That might be the life of the players, that might be the life of the fans. Another, for me, measure that would be success is see our stadium full, watching one of our games. And not only full, but everyone singing, but everyone passionate, everyone, flying flags. That would be success. Of course, qualify for playoffs would be success. Winning the Shield and winning the playoff, that would be a huge success. So success could be defined, but for me, we need to understand that is a change. now we are gonna play in a much braver way. When you play out from the back against Presa, mistakes have to be allowed because we are going to make mistakes. It's impossible to learn. The growth is in this learning from these mistakes. There's never mistakes. It's more difficult to grow. So maybe results don't come straight away. So far, I have to say I'm quite impressed with the girls, but results might not come straight away. But it's the buy-in of everyone, the whole club as a one. And then I think the byproduct, when everyone show this together, and when everyone show this really this attribute that we are saying, the bravery, the passion, the enthusiasm, I think the byproduct is always winning. So for me, all these things are success. One of them, so if we win, but then the stadium is empty, for me, me personally, that wouldn't be really that success. But if we get all of them, then it will be a huge success.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jess, Alex, Fran. Welcome to Houston. We're excited to have you here.
Thank you, guys.
A few housekeeping. I'm going to let Jess and Alex present the jersey to Fran and make him official to Houston today. And then any still photos we want to get up front, please take those here. And then we will make everyone available for any one-on-one. So let Angel, Edgar, or myself know. We thank you all for coming out today. Want to move the chairs? 1 second. Hold the chairs. Thank you. Perfect. Let's get a few with Fran by yourself. Don't go too far, Alex. Give us that excitement, Fran. Give us that excitement. Come on. Love it. Enthusiasm. Alex, let's get a few with you and Fran. Nice. We are excited to see you all this season. This concludes our press conference.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming.
Edgar's going to take you to do a